A federal judge is ordering the Justice Department to release a detailed list of the items seized during the search at former President Trump's home last month. And as far as appointing a special master to review the documents taken, the judge said she'll issue a ruling, but she declined to do it during yesterday's hearing. Homeland Security and Justice reporter Nicole Sganga covered that hearing yesterday. You were there in the courthouse. She's in West Palm Beach, Florida right now. So, Nicole, do we know when the judge is expected to make a decision regarding that special master?
Deborah, it is so challenging to read the judicial tea leaves ever, and especially in this case. But the federal judge saying that she will issue a written order in due course. Those were her words. Now, there was a sense in that courtroom, Deborah, that the federal judge understood the gravity of the situation, that this could set a real legal precedent, perhaps suggesting that she's not going to rush this decision. Now, whether that translates into that written order today, after Labor Day weekend, sometime in between, remains to be seen. One thing for sure, we are keeping our eyes on that docket.
Absolutely. I like that, judicial tea leaves. So you were in the courtroom yesterday. Describe for us what it was like there. I mean, what arguments did former President Trump's lawyers make in favor of appointing that special master?
Yeah, there was a fascinating kickoff of arguments, Deborah, and Chris Kise, who took the stand as the former president's lawyer. It was his first day, and his first point was that it's important to lower the temperature in this case. He invited everyone in the courtroom to take a deep breath, almost downplaying what we're talking about, which, for the benefit of our viewers, I'll remind us that we're talking about hundreds of documents taken from the White House to Mar-a-Lago with classification markings on them, some of them labeled top secret. But Jim Trusty, one lawyer for the former president, likened this to an overdue library book scenario. I have an overdue cookbook sitting on my counter. Not sure I can relate to what happened in the courtroom yesterday. But again, the Trump legal team trying to really downplay this, trying to talk about why they want a special master to review some of these documents. First argument they made is that the FBI, privilege team only reviewed some of the information, some of the documents that were seized from the former president's office for attorney-client privilege. They believe that all of the documents should be looked at. And beyond that, they also sort of made this argument that there is a real or perceived public lack of faith and integrity in justice right now, and that appointing a special master would help to restore some of that trust from the public.
So they're downplaying it. So what were the reasons federal prosecutors gave against appointing that special master?
Yeah, well, the government is arguing here that we are in the pre-indictment stage and that, Mr. Trump's rights are limited at this point in time. They argue that it is both premature and too late to sort of file this kind of civil litigation. Too late because 14 days passed before Mr. Trump's legal team asked for this emergency relief, this injunction, and premature because, if they believe that certain documents should be excluded, say, from a criminal trial, that's something that would happen later down the line. Perhaps they would file a motion to suppress. So the government, they're, arguing that this is both a little too early and a little too late. Now, they have made the point that, the FBI's privilege team has already sorted through documents that were taken from the former president's office here in Mar-a-Lago and that they were identified for attorney-client privilege, also making the argument that executive privilege shouldn't matter in this case. We're talking about a former president, and we're talking about, an executive branch that is currently sorting through these documents. Hard to make the case that the executive branch should assert executive privilege against the executive branch, Deborah. So those are some of the arguments we heard from the government yesterday.
We are really lucky to have you in the courtroom breaking this down for us today. Thank you so much, Nicole Sganga.